My faithful friend, you're there everywhere I go in my life. My faithful friend, in the darkness the light shine over my life. My faithful friend, you bring peace in my heart in the trouble. Faithful friend, you are.
Hello everybody, happy to see you for a second time. When I see you it's good. When I see you it makes me happy. And when I see you I am overjoyed because we're going to learn, we're going to interact, we're going to discuss, we're going to discover new things. As usual, let me remind you the purpose of this program as usual. This is to let you know that we need you to acquire the language of Shakespeare in order to speak it fluently. But for speaking fluently, you have to learn, you have to work, you have to have much knowledge. Right? For having much knowledge, you have to do research. You have to do a search. And you're going to go ahead. You're going to progress. You're going to become an English speaker or an English speaking. Right? Today we're going to speak about the impact of English in French-speaking countries like here in Congo. We are going to debate about it, but before that, we're going to learn something. We often put videos, okay? But today we are going to start by that. We are going to start by it, right? We're going to learn, for them over there, the way of explaining, the way of doing things inside makes me happy. I know that you're happy too. You enjoy it, okay? Because someone told me last time, Mr. Mike, why not letting videos from the beginning to the end? I said, never mind, but sometimes we have to move a little bit. When we have a guest, it's an obligation, it's compulsory to discuss together about the topic, and after that we're going to put videos. But I often choose some days I don't bring videos, but no, I don't bring topics, but I bring only videos from the beginning to the end, right? And as I am used to saying, we are going to discuss, we are going to interact as usual, okay? But right now I'm going to ask Mr. David Nguye, so as to give us a lesson. We're going to learn, and after learning, I think we're gonna have something like 10 minutes, okay? After 10 minutes, we're going to be back. And we keep on about the topic. Mr. David, this is your time. Okay, I keep on. Never mind, it's what I told you. I've been waiting for my guests. I say I've been waiting for my guests, okay? Sometimes, the traffic jam in Democratic Republic of Congo, it's unbelievable. When you ride, if we're arriving, you can be late. As today, my guest is already there. We're going to be together. I've told you about the videos. Mr. David Nguye, why do you interrupt? Sorry, we're going to keep on about it as usual, right? But my guest is there. We're going to debate. As I told you, I've told you that today I'm going to receive Mr. Ange. Mr. Ange is a teacher. He's a teacher at the American School English. Mr. Ange, how are you?
Yeah, I'm really fine. As you can see, I'm really glad to be here. It's a privilege, though, I came a bit late because I had a traffic jam. But my excuse is to all my own waters, stuff like that. I appreciate to be here. I guess that's okay.
Never mind. I am overjoyed to see you here for the first time.
Yeah, this is also a privilege for me to be here in a Hop TV. You know, this is a privilege for me to be here for the first time. I guess this will be my every time TV show. Only if you invited me to come up here, I'll be happy and blessed to be here.
Thank you very much.
Welcome.
I feel American accent here. So, Mr. H,
Yeah.
what can you tell viewers before starting?
Yeah, in fact, I would like viewers to be, really concentrated on Up TV. We're really going to have a beautiful stuff right here. I guess only those people, if they try to watch right now Up TV, Let's Speak English, they're just going to, learn many beautiful stuff here, maybe learning also more, because English, it will be better than them, to appreciate it. That's all I have to tell the viewers.
All right. And what value that English can give to those who speak it in French-speaking countries, in addition ours in DRC?
Yeah, thanks a lot for your question. First of all, I'd like to tell the people that the topic we're talking about today is the importance of English in the French-speaking country. In fact, there are a lot of values that people have to know when they speak or they learn English. In fact, in Congo right now here, if you don't speak English, because of course, myself, I've been born in Congo and grown up here. I can never talk about United States because I've never been there, though you can listen to my English. I'm just going to talk about this simply because, when you learn English or when you speak English in Congo right now, it's going to give you a lot of privilege. First of all, let me talk for example so that people can understand exactly what I mean.
Go ahead.
And I want to just say it like this. When you speak English, first of all, or when you know how to speak English, first of all, you will be respected by people around the place you live or around everywhere. Simply because speaking English is not only you have to speak it, you have to respect all the rules of the language. If you speak English better or you speak English very clear, people will be, amazed and will be respecting you exactly the way you should be respected. But if exactly you have your language, because you know that English is the second language. Yeah, as a second language, if you really do speak it better, you will see, people will see how important you in the society. Because Congolese society right now, if you don't really speak English very good, people will naturally consider you. And if you speak English better and you speak it clearly, people will give you a lot of importance. And you will have a lot of values, and those values will be just for you so that you can grow up. Growing up, I mean, when you have knowledge, quotations. In fact, if you just have English like your hop, because we Hop TV, if you have English like your hop, that will set you free. This is what I always tell to my students in the American school. I have a lot of them. But I tell them, if you really need to be free, as the Bible says this, we're not in church, but I can just invoke something like that. If you know English, you will be set free. In fact, you will never be afraid of people, no matter how good or how beautiful those people are. You're just going to speak what you know. Because we say we just give what we have, and what we are, we just give to people. This is exactly the legacy. And in fact, this is exactly all the value that the English give people who learn and who speak English better. And it is really important now in people's life. That's what I can say.
I really appreciate what you've just spoken here. Okay, I've taken something. When you speak English, you're going to be respected.
Yeah, of
right?
course.
Of course. But English is just a language.
You
right?
got it.
Just for communicating.
Yeah.
It just helps us to communicate, okay?
Yep.
Giving, a message, right? But when you say, once you speak English, you're going to be respected. I want to know why? Because we know here in Democratic Republic of Congo, we've got a lot of people who they have a direct knowledge in French. Right?
You got it.
Why only English? It means that if you don't speak English but you speak French, you won't be respected. It's only English.
I really got your question better, but I want to just go back a little bit when you said you have a lot of people in Democratic Republic of Congo who try to speak English. But pay attention. You have English and English. You have people who try to speak English because they really want to deliver the message. But you have some other people who, when they speak English, they don't only give the message, they give also the value of the beauty of the language. What do I mean?
How can we give the value of the beauty of language?
Okay, you have a lot of people, I said before, they speak English, making a mistake, arranging the pronunciation and stuff like that. They don't care about that.
Yeah.
But when you speak English, a good English speaker, when he speaks English, it really takes his time to control all the single step. I mean, when you talk or when you're speaking, you know that in this word, I have to put my accents here, and you control it. Once you control your accent, your intonation, your everything.
You're speaking about the stress.
Yeah, I'm talking about everything because the language is English, but in English you have everything. You have stress, you have intonation, you have everything. That's why that can give you. And the consideration comes only when people try to know exactly what they're doing. I know a lot of people, they try to speak English without even respecting what is the English is. But it's not a case for me, for example. I know that a lot of people are watching, they know exactly what I'm talking about.
I think you're proud of yourself.
Scientifically speaking, being proud of you when you know something is not bad. When you know, you know. I know a singer, a Congolese singer who says, if you don't know, you better learn. If you know, you have to be proud of what you know and who you are. And if you don't know, it's better for you to learn. I'm not teasing people to be, I'm not smug, in fact. I'm not proud.
So, let's take the case of Nigerian people, okay?
Yeah.
They don't care about the stress, they don't care about even the pronunciation, but they just communicate.
Yeah, in fact, above all, English is a communication. Above all, a communication, but you don't need to be limited only by communication. You have to control also the steps that English has. Imagine you delivering just a message, you don't care about the accents. You don't give the value, you don't give the beauty of the language. It means the language you're speaking gives your personality, gives your own person, and if you don't really respect it, imagine a beautiful girl who doesn't know that it's beautiful. She doesn't know how to make up herself and stuff like that. Is she going to be beautiful in fact? Absolutely not. But in fact, if somebody tells her that you're beautiful, you have to take care of your body, and then that will be better for her, and then she will look more beautiful than before. That one I have to tell people, listener and stuff like that. That will be cool.
Thank you very much. I appreciate you speaking. But tell me, is it true that people are considered illiterate if they don't speak English?
Talking about this point, I think people watching on TV right now, you're not going to consider me like I'm a rude person, but in fact I'm not. I'm just going to talk about the reality, only the reality that I can talk about. Imagine the world now, the world, not Angel says that, not me, but the world consider everybody who doesn't know anything in English, neither in computer science, is not considered that person. It's not Angel saying this. Imagine Angel is known around the world. How and why? Simply because I have something that the world requires me to have. What is this? In fact, it's English. And once I have English, I'm just going to be proud of that. Once I am proud of that, and people will consider me. But you, although you are a lawyer, although you are a journalist, I'm not talking to you. Although you're a journalist, although you're a doctor, whoever you are, if you don't complete in your resume, your CV, English, make sure that what you've learned is for nothing. Yeah, I'm not rude, but I'm saying that.
So, are you speaking about, English organization, or you speaking about all over the world? In every domain.
Okay, talking about an organization or a domain or stuff like that, let me just go step by step. Imagine you're a journalist, you've studied somewhere to be a journalist, and after finished your journalism, and you have to be maybe hired in a company or in a TV show, stuff like that. Imagine. Once you go there, they require you that you have to have English before being hired. Don't you see that that becomes a barrier for you? Because only English, you're just going to ask a question to that person, only because I don't know English, and you're not going to hire me? Because simply because English now becomes an obligation for everybody, and then if a person doesn't have English, it means he's limited his life. Your life will be limited simply because you don't know how to speak English. And speaking English also requires time. If you don't really know how to manage your time, I'm not sure that you're going to have time. People who are watching right now, don't just be panic about what I'm saying. I'm speaking my English because if I tell you how long did it take me to learn my English and speak like I'm doing right now, man, you're just going to say, come on.
Teacher, don't you see that if we keep on giving much attention to the English, we can also lose our culture?
Okay, I love. Let me laugh a little bit.
All right.
I can laugh at the same time, smile also because I'm free. I'm really happy to be here.
We know that you're free.
I'm really free.
All right.
Because in Congo we promote democracy. Okay. And when you talk about democracy, you have freedom of speech. I am free to speak about everything I can talk about.
Go ahead.
Talking about culture, as you mentioned in your question, is really important. Let me tell you something. I'm just going to give you many examples. You're just going to understand, and a lot of people will be understanding that. And if you understood my speech at the beginning, I said this. Those are two stuff which go together. I'm talking about language and a culture. When you have a language, people are discovered through their language. If you speak, the first time I see you, you are from Congo, but we're not living in the same provinces. But I can judge your speaking simply by the way you're talking. I can say, okay, this person exactly the way he's speaking, this person is from Congo Central. Or maybe this one is Mungala person or Luba person, simply because your intonation betrays you. This is exactly why you have like a culture, but in language. And imagine in English, see me today in 2004. Angel was not exactly the way I am. Angel was like a different person, but today I'm totally different, somebody else. Because I've been concentrated learning English, being focused on English, and English has just changed my life and my personality. It means everything I try to do, every single thing I try to do in English, I try just to mimic Americans. You know, my way of talking sounds like American, my way of dressing sounds like American. I mean, I try to do everything like American. It means English try to influence my culture, but in fact, as a person, I don't really like to be, concentrated only in an American way. Okay. I can also keep my Congolese culture. This is exactly how English at first can influence your personality and your culture. You can also change.
All right.
Try to see some Nigerian people or some Americans, their way of dressing. You see Congolese people, they try to do the same thing like Americans. And if you are naturally careful, you're just going to say, oh, why have you changed your way of being? Simply because he has taken it to somebody else, maybe 50 Cent, maybe Icon, maybe those kind of people. I'm not just going to give the names of a lot of people here.
So, all right, I've understood what you're speaking about. So, tell me, can native language or dialect influence English? Example, or someone, a Luba, for saying good evening, he says good evening. Okay, is it bad like this?
It's happened to me some other times when I try to speak English because I am used to speaking English. But sometimes when I try to speak Lingala or French in front of guys, they say, Ange, you're not the same person. When you speak English, you're not a person. And when you speak Lingala, you change totally. But myself, I've never discovered that. Myself, I know that Ange, when he speaks English, is Ange. And Ange, when he speaks Lingala, is Ange. And when I speak French, I am Ange. I don't know in what context people try to do that. In fact, they do it to influence people. This is my point of view. I don't know, because English is its own pronunciations, and Lingala is its own pronunciation, so does French. So how can you start maybe forgetting to pronounce a word in English to Lingala? That can be okay, because it's a language that you are using every day. But not only imagine somebody saying, imagine you're saying imbote. How do you mean by imbote? You're saying Lingala, but you're giving an English pronunciation. Doesn't exist. This is, I call it myself, influencing people. You see, the effect of influencing people that can push you also to say something so that you can tease people, or giving people the desire to learn the language. It's also good.
So
it's also good, I guess.
Teacher, let me emphasize about the stress, because last time I was speaking, I was discussing with another one about the stress. And a man told me, Mr. Mark, this is a language, even if you don't respect the stress, it's not important, right? Example, for saying apologize, you can say apologize, no problem. For saying conjugation, you can say conjugation, or for saying alphabet, you can say alphabet, never mind. Okay? Is it an obligation respecting stress?
Can I?
Yes.
Yeah, of course. I am saying in a loud of voice. All the people watching right now ain't just saying it's an obligation. Believe or not, rain or shine, it's an obligation. Why do I mean an obligation? I just come back to the example. Before going to your example that you've just given, let me give example. In the church I am in an American church, IPCK. I remember I had a guy I brought to my church. He wanted to use a guitar. And if the right people was like playing a guitar, and the guy went to ask a guitar to the right person. Can you imagine what the guy said? Can you give me your guitar? And the right people didn't understand. He was like questioning himself. He said, I'm sorry, what are you saying? And then said, can you give me a guitar? And I said, oh, he doesn't understand. He tried to ask, I say, he needs a guitar. I say, oh, you mean a guitar? You see, it means when you're saying, for example, a guitar, you're saying something else, which that sound doesn't exist in English. But when you say a guitar, this is the exact pronunciation.
So excuse me, Mr. Ange.
Yeah?
Sometimes, someone or a student can be ignorant. Because when we speak about guitar and guitar, how can we know that here we have to say guitar, but here we cannot say guitar?
I can just say lucky to my students of the American school, because they have an English teacher who, I'm not the best, in fact, but God has provided something good in me, and I try to give it to people. We call it intonation, we call it stress. I've written a small book about this. Stress is when you have a word, every word has exactly the intonation, and you have to count the syllables. In those syllables, you have to know exactly in this syllable that I have to put the accents. It's not by any chance. Imagine you having something like you having a tete-a-tete with American people. If you don't speak exactly the way American wants you to speak, you're just going to step away. But if you know exactly what the accent is, you're just going to speak and you are free. That's what I remember. I said, I am really free. And I've never been afraid of people, English speakers. And I guess I will never be afraid of them. The day I will be afraid of English speakers, the day I'll die, I guess.
That's the reason why I said in the beginning, Mr. NG is proud. He's
not at all, not at all.
Because he has much knowledge.
Not at all.
Okay? Why are you boastful?
I'm not truly boastful. I told you I'm not smug. I'm not brag out. In fact, if you know, you know. And if you don't know, you better learn. It's not me who say that, somebody else.
Mr. Ange.
I am.
Whose responsibility to learn English? Do you think to people themselves, or the government has to push them learning English?
This is a serious question. Imagine you living in a country like Congo. Excuse me, I used to call Congo demoniac Republic of Congo, but in fact,
you change, pay attention. You're
Yeah,
gonna be
yeah. In
arrested.
fact, I assume exactly what I'm saying.
All right.
In Congo, imagine who is going to take care of you so that it can push you learning English. First of all, learning English is your own responsibility. If you decide to learn English, you need to have a good coach, a person to coach you what to do. And nobody's going to tell you, you know, I'm going to be your tutor or your mentor so that I can give you money to do this and do that. No. In fact, the responsibility is to the person himself. And the person himself, maybe if he's limited, maybe can have some support from different people. But when you talk about the government, imagine in Congo, government itself is not responsible about what we can do in Congo. And how can the government be responsible of your training, your knowledge? It doesn't have interest in it. It means nobody can do better than you can do yourself. It means what you have to do it yourself, without even asking people to support you with money, materials, and stuff like that. It means, me, for example, I've learned English not because somebody else wanted me to learn, but I learned English because I knew exactly what is the value of English tomorrow and in my life. That one exactly, I was motivated to learn English. And a lot of motivation also came to a lot of people, you know, they have just supported me and stuff like that, advice, you know, encouragement, and a lot of stuff, I guess. The responsibility is not to the government, the responsibility is yours. If you decide today, believe or not, rain or shine, I'm going to speak English, just do what you can do. Find the best place to learn. For example, the American school, you can find the best place you can learn in English. That will be, you know, the best way.
All right, I appreciate, but you'd better have a high vision, right?
Of course.
You know, as we often say, the more we teach, the more you do research, right?
Course.
You can do research, you can do but about this word, okay? Research or research?
Pay attention. You have, when you have the accents,
Yes.
you have accents with the words, and you have the accents with the verb.
Okay.
And when you have the accents, for example, I take the example, the same idea. I take respect. When I say respect, I have respect on what you're saying. This is a noun. But when I say I respect you, this is a verb. Exactly, this is the way you have to know
But
that.
the same way of writing, the same
The same way, the same spelling.
Okay,
But you
okay.
have just to respect. I'm saying you have just to respect the
Because this is a
respect of
verb.
the stuff because it's a verb.
Okay.
And you have to be taught. How are you going to know where am I going to put my accents? This is exactly what people have to learn. Yeah.
I've seen about record, okay? You can say record or record. Because when you say record, it's a verb, and record, you know.
Yeah, a recording. You have a record and you have record. A record and record.
So, you've spoken about having a good coach, right?
Yep.
Are you a teacher?
I am, of course.
Excuse
You say
me for
that.
asking, okay, for a second time. Right.
Yeah.
So, who is a teacher? What are qualities that a teacher can possess?
Come again.
Who is a teacher? Okay, who is a teacher? Because you're a teacher.
Okay.
But who is really a teacher? What are qualities, okay, potential that a teacher can possess?
In fact, in Congo, everybody, if it feels like teaching, you can teach. This is in Congo. And to be a teacher, first of all, we say you have to know. If you know, you need to have qualities. If you have qualities, you need to have criteria. And criteria are going to help you to know exactly what you're doing. First of all, to be a teacher, you have to be confident. If you're confident exactly, you know what you are saying, what you are teaching to people, you don't need to grope. If you are groping yourself the way you're teaching people, it means you haven't mastered what you're teaching people. It means you are not sure about what you're saying or what you're teaching. This is the first point. If you have confidence, it will help you also to develop a lot of things and hope and trust to people that you're teaching. But if you don't have confidence, that will be also a doubt in yourself. Because when you're doubting about what you're saying, people won't understand you. Imagine you're saying, record. You just drop it like that. It means you don't exactly what you're saying. Respect, guitar. No, you don't know what you're saying. People will understand because you are tattooing.
You're doubting.
You're doubting yourself. But if you, the first time you see the word and you use it, people will say, okay, that one knows. And if you have a self-confidence, yourself, and you have to also have what you call a self-control. You don't need to, to be smart. If you don't control the stuff everywhere you go, even though people don't ask you, say, I am a teacher. What is it going to do for us? If you're a teacher, what am I going to do? It's your own work. I don't care about this. If you're a teacher, I am a mechanic.
You're a mechanic.
I'm a mechanic. If you're a teacher, but I am a mechanic. If you're a teacher, I am, for example, lawyer. If you're a teacher, I am who I am. I don't care about who you are. Who knows? If you are lying. You understand what I mean?
If you're a teacher, I'm a joiner. Or I can be a driver.
A driver, yeah, it's your profession. You have to be proud of being that.
Okay.
Of course.
So, are there some domains that English can be used? If yes, why not? If not, why not?
Let me tell you right now, there is no domain where English is not required. In all domains, you need English, and English needs them. Imagine you're a journalist. A journalist, you're not going to say, I'm just concentrated, I am good at talking about sports. What if you talk about sport, but in your TV show, you receive Cristiano Ronaldo? And Cristiano Ronaldo doesn't speak French. He doesn't speak Lingala either, but he speaks only English, maybe with Portuguese. So what are you going to do? Are you going to say, hey, Cristiano, wait a minute. Can you speak a little bit French? Who told you that Cristiano speaks French? He speaks only English. You see the way English texts you, tells you, okay, now you see me, I told you have to know me. But this is not reality. Maybe if you have a Cristiano in your TV show, that will be the privilege for you to be, progressing. But the fact of not knowing English, you have a barrier in your career. That's exactly what the problem is.
You have a barrier in your career.
Your career. Oh,
you
that's
speak
good.
About domain.
Yeah.
Okay, teacher.
Yeah.
So, I want you to tell us, right? Or I want you telling us, how long have you been learning English?
Oh my God. First of all, what I want to tell the people right here is this. I've never been in the United States. I've never been in the United States. I told you at the beginning, I've been born here in Congo and I've grown up here in Congo.
You've already spoken about it.
Yeah, of course. What do I mean by this? It means my English comes from Congo. Just a big respect to my teacher, the one who taught me English, Mr. Dan. The guy is now in Mwanda.
Okay.
Mr. Dan was the guy who took me in my cradle, in my crib. I knew nothing about English, but now I have something. I also have offsprings. And I've been learning English since 2009. I've been learning English since 2009. English, they say, learning is an endless process. It will never finish. Since that time until now, I continue learning. Because when you teach people, you are teaching yourself. I'm learning every day. That's exactly what I have, like the answer to your question, how long have I been learning English? I've been learning English since 2009.
Thank you very much. So, this foreign language which is demanding and requires time to learn, right? Do you think people are ready to learn English seeing their busy schedules?
I just love the way you use the word demanding. Yeah, of course, English is like a gal. English is like a beautiful gal. Imagine you want to woo a beautiful gal, and the gal herself knows that I'm beautiful. I'm not going to accept any kind of boy is going to approach me. It means she will just accept good guys and stuff like that. It's like English. Yeah, talking about busy schedule, stuff like that. if people only know how to manage their schedules, I'm sure that they're going to learn English. English is really capricious. But in fact, if you know how to manage your time, how to separate your tasks, I think it will be okay for you to learn, from this time to that time I'm going to do this, and from this to that I'm going to go to the center to learn English, because tomorrow English is going to answer to all your questions, and it's going to open all your doors. But if you don't have time to learn it, seeing only your busy schedules, busy times, people always say that. You're going to make to understand that people, when they come to the centers, they try to ask you a question. Can I speak English in 2 months? And myself, I never answer to the questions. It means English itself requires time. And if you need time, maybe you're going to have the basic, but not to speak in English the way people do. In fact, that's exactly what people have to know. You have to respect your schedule and know exactly what I can do with English.
So, about learning English in 2 months. During last vacation, I've seen posters. Okay? Written, you're going to learn and speak English in 2 months.
Yeah. Can I?
Is it true? Yes.
Yeah. That's also, it's a problem of experiences. That's first. Second, it's only the fact of attracting people to come in bodies. It means they want people to come a lot. It means English in 2 months, speaking English the way I want it to be spoken, is absolutely impossible. Speaking English in 2 months, this is something else. I don't know what magic are you going to do. In fact, in 2 months, you can give people the basic, but not to speak in English properly. Because I don't know what are the units or the chapters are you going to use for that guy or that person to speak English correctly.
Maybe they have much knowledge. They have their knowledge.
I don't know. That's what at the beginning I said. That
Teacher,
also depends on
how
the experiences.
can we join you? Okay, you have an English center.
Yeah.
Where is it located?
Okay. Thanks a lot for the privilege for me to talk about my English center. In fact, the T-shirt I got here is about my English center. The American school is on Baladi Street, just at McCalla Township. Ange exactly lives at McCalla Township. My English center is at McCalla Township, exactly on Baladi Street, number 24 in Biaka School. Those people who know Biaka School, I think they're just going to have a reference like that.
I think you often work in the evening.
Yeah, of course. During the vacation, we just have every time. We have a day long.
Oh, can you give us your phone number?
Yeah, it's okay. I guess my phone number is really easy as my name.
Go ahead.
My phone number is 089 93 361.
Again?
089 93 couple 361. If you call that, you're just going to take Ange himself. Nobody else will answer that.
Thank you very much.
Appreciate it.
Yes, we've been overjoyed to be together with you. I think we'll be here next time. It says his phone number is
like my name,
Mr.
I said.
Ange. His phone number is easy like his name.
Yeah, of course.
Thank you very much.
Welcome.
I've taken something over there about the pronunciation, about the stress. We have to know what we're speaking about. Okay. Once you're a teacher, you have to know, because I don't know, sometimes students are destroyed about the stress.
Of
okay,
course. You're right.
Badly, the way you're pronouncing, you can find unbelievable. Sometimes it's shame. Okay. But thanks for watching. We're going to meet next time for, the next one, the next topic. God bless you. Stay tuned and bye. Bye bye.
Okay. Goodbye.
My faithful friend, you're there everywhere I go in my life. My faithful friend, in the darkness, a light shine over my life. My faithful friend, you bring peace in my heart in the trouble. Faithful friend, you are.